Let's talk about that Baylor win. Coming off a good weekend against Penn, going into that Baylor win, going to Waco. Talk about that win as a team.
Yeah, it was a great start to last week. Anytime you can go there and play well, it's a good game. We jumped out early. I think we won the first 3 innings 4-0. They made a little comeback there in the middle. We go the ninth tied 4-4. So it was a gritty win for our guys on the road against an obvious branded name team there at Baylor. So proud of the fight, the resolve our guys showed early last week, and that was a good signature win to kind of start. That's our upcoming Tuesday, Wednesday matchups, man. Moving forward, I think our next, when you look at it on paper, it's going to be a challenging on the road. We've got TCU tomorrow night. We go to UTSA next week, and then I think it's Tech and TCU and Tech and Texas. So I think we're in the teeth of that midweek schedule right now. So we're going to need to play well and go compete well, and we got off to a good start last week.
And then going to Corpus Christi, you dropped 2 out of 3 there. Kind of talk about that series, what you saw, some of the problems you saw, and some of the good things you saw from that series.
Yeah, challenging. Scott and them do a good job, man. Corpus, the environment down there is a little bit different than ours. We had a hard time scoring some runs there. We did a good job on Friday. I thought we pitched well, swung the bats well, defended the field well. 7-2 win there, 3rd place on Friday. Saturday, I think we scored early and then really just slowed down. Couldn't get a whole lot going on, a whole lot started. We gave up a big inning in the 5th there, I guess, on Saturday. It's at a AA ballpark, the Corpus Christi Hook, so it's a pretty big park, man. It's hard to get some offense going. It's just hard to slug sometimes in those ballparks. I think it was set 6-1. I think was the final there on Saturday. Just again, never put a lot of pressure on. Then yesterday was we had our opportunities. We left a bunch of guys on early. They got out in front. We pitched well enough to win. Probably didn't defend and put enough pressure on them offensively on a Sunday. So you jump on the bus and you have a 2-2 week, and now you get to reset, and it's 0-0 today. So certainly learning as we go through, that's going to be the conversation. I think we've talked about that each week. We've learned some things this week that we need to address, and I'd much rather lose 2 out of 3 last weekend to Corpus, than I would this week at Tarleton on the road. So hopefully we'll figure out some of those, some areas we can clean up and move forward.
Outside of this weekend, only one other time this season you've scored less than 4 runs.
Yeah.
I mean, your offense has been kind of rolling since the start of the season. What do you contribute to that, and kind of talk about being able to put up runs like that early on this season?
Yeah, I do like our depth. I thought their guys pitched really well Saturday and Sunday. They just kept the pressure on us by pounding the strike zone. That is pitching. When you can create count leverage and do a good job of that, it's hard for teams to score when you don't walk people and you make plays. So they didn't give us much at all Saturday and Sunday. So we have to create our own in that regard, and we just didn't do a very good job of it. But I think when we're dialed in, I've said it before, I do think we've got some good pieces 1 through 9 that can do some things when they stay inside their identity, which I thought we got outside of it a little bit this weekend. But no, you're right. We've had a really good group of just when we've got 1 through 9, the team component rolling. I think it's a good offense. It's a hard one to stop, as you mentioned, with the run scored. So I feel like we'll jump right back into it. It'll be challenging tomorrow night at TCU. I think they're 12-0 right now for the folks that don't know. I think they're top 5 in every poll. So we'll see if we can go over there and perform well. And it's going to take 1 through 9 tomorrow night for sure.
And talk about that TCU game. Not only playing TCU, but at their field with that great environment. Just how that is. Talk about kind of the good things you're expecting from your team, and kind of the experiences you can get out of this win, lose, or draw from that game.
Yeah, it's a regional environment. They've hosted regionals, they've hosted super regionals, they've been to Omaha. So I think when you look at it, their experience where we are, that's where we want to be, obviously, at some point as a program. So we're building a roster, trying to build an environment, trying to build a facility that hopefully can eventually line us up with what they're currently doing. Kirk and them do a great job, but they're very, very well rounded. I think they're hitting .336 right now offensively, so they're going to put some pressure on us tomorrow, or try to. They're known for pitching and defense over there too, so it'll be challenging. We've got a lot of guys from DFW. I know I'm expecting a lot of ACU alumni there in the Fort Worth and Dallas area to come support us tomorrow night. So there'll be hopefully a lot of ACU purple in the stands. But our guys will be excited to jump on the bus and head over tomorrow.
And then after that game, you jump into WAC play.
Yeah.
It's still early in this
Yeah.
season, but the fact you guys are already starting conference play, talk about that mindset and kind of how you guys can prepare your guys for what games technically really count.
Yeah, well, they all count for us, for sure. But you're right, WAC starts this weekend. We'll start on the road at Tarleton, which has got a new staff. I'm sure they're going to be excited to get, their inaugural WAC weekend started off at home. So we'll be challenged right out of the chute. I think they've got the most wins in our league right now, 9. Haven't dove into them a ton yet. I'm a little bit familiar with some of their personnel. We'll dive into that after TCU tomorrow. But we'll drive over to Stephenville and get ready to play a 3-game set.
Good, man. That was awesome.
One more question.
Yeah.
Coming off, this is your first series loss of the season, coming this late, kind of in the beginning of the season. How does that feel to be kind of still be able to roll there and bounce back into this series coming up to Tarleton?
Yeah, we take pride in winning series. I think great teams sweep series, right? If you want to be known as a great team. So finding ways to win 3 or 4 games a weekend is really hard, but that's what you're going to have to do to win a conference tournament. When you have an opportunity to go win on Friday, Saturday's really important. If you win or lose on Friday, Saturday, like Sunday becomes more important. So I think that experience this weekend, I'm hoping, if applied correctly, then we'll be able to pull from that, because inevitably we're going to be a showdown Sunday where we've got to show up to win a series, and it may be this weekend on the road at Tarleton. I don't know. So there'll be some opportunities for us to pull from this weekend on the road. But yeah, I think we'll play each week as its own, and we start fresh 0-0 this week, and TCU tomorrow and at Tarleton this weekend.